Hello, Tanya.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Welcome. Look, we've got a slight embarrassing situation to tell you, in that we've only got 6 councillors here. I call them 7, so that doesn't mean we can't hear your submission, though, because we want to hear it. When we deliberate in a couple of weeks, it will only be with councillors who have, if they've been absent today, will have had to have heard your, watched the recording of this submission. So as long as you're comfortable with that, we're happy to carry on and hear you and ask questions of you. You've just disappeared for a moment, so let's see what's going on. Please don't do that again. Yeah, no, you're back. Good. Okay. So just confirming, Tanya's submission is submission number 6. I don't know what the page number it is necessarily, but so you've got officially 10 minutes. Would please if you want us to ask questions, maybe leave some time. Yeah, please begin.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and thanks for the opportunity to zoom into your meeting today and just say a few words about your relocation policy. So basically, we agree that venues being allowed to locate into a central business district and cluster together is probably a good thing for problem gambling outcomes. Letting them relocate out of suburbs has been shown to be a good harm minimisation measure. However, the requirement for venues to be 100 metres apart in the CBD, we think, is a problem, because what that realistically means at the moment is that venues actually wouldn't be able to relocate, because there would be so few available positions for them to move into. So they're likely just to get stuck out in those suburbs where you don't want them, which kind of defeats the purpose of making this change to the policy. So what we would suggest is that if you want to go ahead with this particular policy change, is that you remove that 100-metre relocation restriction between venues, because there's no evidence that suggests that having venues less than 100 metres apart is problematic. So if you remove that, then I think it would be a sensible change to your policy to allow venues to relocate into the CBD and cluster together in a sort of an entertainment district within the CBD. So yes, if we with that 100-metre restriction removed, we would support this change.
Thank you. So, and I'll let Councillor Josh ask the same question as he asked last time, because yours was a better question. Councillor Josh.
Thank you, Tanya. So my question was around multi-venue exclusions, and it relates to if a person is excluded from one particular venue, and they approach another venue to continue their gambling behaviours. Is there any mechanism where a ban in one venue can also result in a ban in another venue?
Yes, absolutely. Like you say, multi-venue exclusions do exist. I'm not aware if they're currently in place in Whanganui at the moment, but they are in many other districts. So basically, when somebody comes into a venue or goes to a problem gambling service provider and they ask to be excluded from a venue, then they can be excluded from all the venues in the town at the same time, and that can just be processed off the same exclusion. So yeah, many of the excluded people we have in our database are excluded under multi-venue agreements. So that can be anything from just within a small area, within a whole city, or within the entire country in some cases. So yes, that is absolutely a mechanism and something that we would encourage.
So that assumes that someone has actually come to the venue and said, I have an addiction and I want to be banned. Is there any mechanism whereby a person is banned that hasn't admitted that they've got a problem, where that can also translate into other venues as well? Or is it only... is it only if a person comes forward and says they've got a problem and that they would like to be banned?
No, there's two mechanisms that exclusions can happen by. One is the problem gambler requesting it themselves, which is the most common, but venues also have the power to exclude somebody who they have good reason to believe has a gambling problem, so they can actually make that happen. And again, that can go into a multi-venue exclusion process if that's available at the time. So yes, yeah, both of those situations can occur.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Barron. James.
Okay, so thank you, Tanya. In the event of a venue relocation, do the existing exclusions of the venue travel with that, or do they need to be set up again? And if they do need to be set up again, what's your view on whether they should start from a blank page or whether they should actively take on all the exclusions which apply to some of the venues?
I actually don't know the answer to that question because it's not something we've ever been asked before, actually, to be honest. I would assume that the exclusion travels with the venue when it relocates, because the exclusion is specific to that venue, and usually with relocation clauses, the venue has to be setting up basically as the same business that it was in its previous location. So I'm not sure of the legalities around that. I could check and find out for you, but I know Jared True is speaking today, and I'm sure he'd be able to answer that question for you because he knows the legal background to this sort of more than I do. But yes,
it's submitted prior to you, I'm afraid. So, but
yeah. My concern with that is if a person, you know, we're talking about suburban venues relocating into a clustered thing in the city here. A person may well say, look, I just need to be excluded from something which is close to me. But then their favourite venue now moves into the city, and hello, there's another 4 within walking distance.
Yes, which is why having a multi-venue exclusion process in your area is a good thing, because they would be excluded from all of those other venues anyway.
Yeah. Thanks.
Any further questions? There being no further questions, thank you very much, Tanya. Appreciate you zooming in, and thank you for flexibility. We'll be deliberating in a couple of weeks. I think Thursday fortnight, today fortnight. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time this morning and for listening to my submission.